Welcome everybody to the MTD Watch, your real world guide to making tax digital, powered by the ITSA Accounting Network. This is a show where we cut through the noise and dive into what MTD really means for you and your practice. From pricing and preparation to tools that are helping firms get ahead. I'm your host, Aaron Patrick, aka the QuickBooks Chap, and joining me today are two of the sharpest minds in MTD strategy. We have, I'm going to go the other way around this time. I'm going to go hashtag MTD Queen, Suzannah Whelan, with m.icb. How have you been and how's it all going?
Yeah, good, thank you. Really busy at the moment, but all good.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Good's the new fine, right? We're cracking on. We're making it. And then now, obviously, hashtag Audit Amy, co-host of the QuickBooks Lab podcast and many other podcasts there. Amy, tell the world why you're here and anything you want to plug.
I am here to join the journey with everyone else on what are we going to do about this MTD thing, the thing that we have to start in April. What else am I doing? I am still in audit world, probably for the rest of this month. So I'm living on Red Bull. It's great fun. Great fun. Lovely life.
So still Red Bull, not moved on to Monster yet. I mean, I tried Monster for the first time, 3 months ago? But
I find that too sweet. I mean, they have lots of different flavors. Jamie, who sits with me, she loves Monster. So it looks funky. It's just too big. Like, you're just going to be buzzing and bouncing off the walls, right?
There goes our Monster sponsorship.
Really strong coffee?
No,
strong
they're
coffee,
like
is that what you're going
sugar,
for?
Sweet sugar, high. Yeah. It's what I used to live on, Red Bull.
So we were just about to get a Monster sponsorship, and then
I'll try Monster if it tastes like Red Bull.
So any coffee people out there who want to sponsor us? We'll definitely get through those MTD days with coffee. I'm sure we can figure something out for that. In this series, we'll be unpacking the true cost of MTD readiness, exposing the common pitfalls and grilling the software vendors on what's working. That's exactly what this episode's about. We've been grilling them for the past, what's it been, 5 weeks now?
5 weeks, yeah.
Grilling. And now we're gonna decompress it together with your help. We're gonna understand it together and figure out which of those solutions are going to be right for our individual needs. We're broadcasting live across LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, and this episode will be available on demand on all your major podcasting platforms. Be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss a moment of this new series. And if you're watching live, drop the questions and curveballs in the chat, just like we've got Rahul there, and he says, "Good afternoon from cloudy London." Aaron, Suzannah, hashtag MTD Queen, and Amy Hancock, hashtag Audit Amy. So yeah, it's all there. But if you have got any questions, you want to keep us live, then come in from there, and we'll be keeping an eye on them as we go along. So first part of today's thing is to talk about some news. And the news has come through that we now have digitally excluded can now apply for MTD exemption. And as you can imagine, there's a long list of people who are digitally excluded. I'm taking the mic, or there is not a long list at all. So who is digitally excluded? It seems like they're following the VAT letter by letter here, aren't they? So the legislation provides that a taxpayer is digitally excluded where they are a practicing member of a religious society or order whose beliefs are incompatible with using electronic communications or keeping electronic records, or it is not reasonable practice for them to use electronic communications or to keep electronic records. This could be for any reason, including age, disability, or location. So first of all, does that, were we expecting that? Were we expecting more, less? Like, talk us through it. Suzanne, do you want to go first?
I think that the official line is what I was expecting, but I think where they're saying it could be for reasons of age or all those things, it's going to be incredibly limited. They're not going to just say, "Oh, you're old, you're over a certain age, you don't have to do it." There's got to be really. I think it's like if you're, I don't know, 100 and you're living in the Outer Hebrides with no electricity or whatever, but then you're not going to be in a business, are you? So
you wouldn't have thought so. Amy,
you never know.
It's going to be incredibly limited. And the religion, I had a quick Google actually at what the religious reasons were, and yeah, very kind of restricted again. It was like there was something like, I think if you're Amish, or if you're something called a Jain, Jain monk or something. But again, I'd never heard of that, and I don't think there's going to be many of them who are self-employed or landlords. I wouldn't have thought so. I would be amazed if there's more than a handful of people who actually sort of get away with being digitally excluded.
Is Jane the
but
same?
It's going to be fun when all our clients ask us to check.
Yeah, definitely. Is Jane the same as not allowing to eat onions? Is that Jane? I think
No
that's
idea. It was something like Jain. I'd never heard of it. Jane monk or nun.
Yeah, interesting.
There's
Amy,
not
what's
many
your thoughts on
around
this?
where I am in Essex, so
I'm looking at Jane Monk. I mean, you've got to be specific,
yeah,
to an extent, but there is going to be people that slightly fall outside of that. I think they're trying to force everyone into this digital world, and so many people are resisting, but like that's their prerogative. You know, they can do that. So we are going to get clients that are like, I do not want to be in this world. Please take everything off me. Please create me a login. Please do it. We get it all the time anyway. So we're going to get it more with the MTD as people are like resisting giving more information to the government.
So if the client is digitally excluded, that doesn't mean that their bookkeeper or accountant is. I don't think there's going to be any digitally excluded accountants or bookkeepers out there. So I think that will fall quite flat for most people.
It's interesting you say that, because we have got here, it says where the taxpayer has help from another person, including an agent, the exemption is still based on their personal circumstances.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's already been defined.
I mean, I personally haven't tried to make anyone digitally excluded because the list has been so narrow. What ends up happening is the client sitting right next to me with their whole life in front of them, and I'm trying to help them do it. Like with when they brought in the CGT returns within 60 days.
Yes.
The clients just end up coming and sitting with me and doing it because they don't have a gateway, even though they should have been reporting their buy-to-let income. You know, they don't have all this stuff, and you end up getting on the phone and on the agent line and passing the phone over and passing it back. It's going to be exactly the same situation in this case, but I want to know what a Jane Monk is. So if anyone knows out there,
I wonder if we'll get any people converting to be a Jane Monk just purely to get out of MTD.
For MTD purposes, I mean,
surge in there. There is
a lot more to it.
That's been given from ICAW. ICAW have given the time frame set out above. Oh, so just to clarify, you can now apply for exemptions at any point. But given the time frame set out above, it's recommended that an application is made by the end of January 2026, where the taxpayer will be within MTD income tax for April 2026. If the taxpayer is to have confidence of their status before the start date. So they're saying get this done ASAP. While HMRC recommends that taxpayers continue to prepare for MTD income tax, ICAW considers that the key action for taxpayers is ensure that their written accounting records are kept up to date, just in case the records need to be converted into a digital format. Because then it goes on to about circumstances can change, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
So fair enough. So I mean, at least we now know clarity over it, and that's kind of all we want, isn't it? That, you know, these are the people in, these are the people out. And I actually commend them for not making this list too too big, because I feel like a lot of people will be trying to use this.
Oh, people will be trying it on. Yeah,
exactly. And the fact that it's in a very narrow space for people who legitimately have reasons not to do it, I think that's the right way, right? I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on then to the big topic of the show, which is basically having us three talking about what we learned over the last 5 weeks. It's been an interesting couple of 5 weeks. We've had the opportunity to see many people come and talk about their software and do a bit of a software showdown and battle to the end, as I like to kind of tell people that we've been doing. But let's take us all the way back to the beginning. So our first one was the amazing Sam Mitchum came on and talked to us about Sage and how Sage is going to be taking to the series. Now, I've got some really big update to come from there. We're going to chew over in a minute. But what was your first impressions of that one? Because for all of us on this chat, I think this is the one piece of software we were probably least familiar with, right? So this was a really good starting point. Who wants to go first? Suzanne, do you want to go first?
I'm actually quite familiar with Sage. I have got quite a few clients on Sage still, and I've got, I think, 2 that are going to be brought into MTD in April, this April coming. So yeah, it was really, I haven't explored the beta yet for them, but I have got one client who has said to me that she'll let me sign her up, so I am going to look at that in the next few weeks. But yeah, it was really good hearing Sam talk about it, and really reassuring. I'm quite excited for it, actually. I think Sage put a lot of effort in and a lot of thought into how they can make this easier for us. So yeah, that was my takeaway from that.
Love that.
And I'll let you know when I've tried using it.
Yeah, please. I like many people that are probably listening, trained on Sage Line 50.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Still remember the codes, still remember the tax code.
5,000 for purchases.
I know, I was thinking it was 6,900 miscellaneous expenses.
Yeah. I still use those nominal codes.
Do you? Have you converted them to zero yet? Have you moved them over to your zero clients?
Some of them I have, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I've migrated people over. I've bought the codes with. I prefer them. They're ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, they never leave you. So I'm in a Sage Line 50 world, and then when the cloud came out, I was obviously, there wasn't anything that particularly stood out for me on the Sage point of view. The Sage Drive didn't work and all this kind of stuff. So that's when I went down the QuickBooks route. But so I kind of forgotten about Sage a little bit. And then they kind of
quite a few people. I think what they're doing is going to hopefully bring people back.
Yeah, they've put a lot of effort into it, particularly with the Sage Copilot. I mean, the bags at last year's Countex, I'm still using the bag.
Yeah.
So they put a lot of time, they put a lot of effort in, and they're still doing that now. I think that episode, I kind of was going into it like, well, this is another software that I'm going to have to learn. And if the others do it, do I need to get involved? But actually,
software itself is really nice. It's nice to use. Yeah.
I really struggled with, I do have a couple of clients, I really struggled with the trial balance, how that looked.
That can be awkward, yeah, but it's better now. They've done some updates to it, and it's
they have, and I know they have. I've heard that.
But a couple of years ago that was quite awkward
for me to kind of explore it a bit and you know, familiarize myself with how it's going to work. But actually, I quite like that there was a free version. That's going to stand out to some people. I definitely think I need to be more aware. I don't want to be one of those people that say, oh, you want to use Sage? No, you're not for me. I'm not like that. I like to learn new things.
Yeah.
So I think actually coming out of that episode, I was thinking I need to be aware of it. It's not that I'm necessarily going to use it because I don't have any clients on it. So it's not something that I would necessarily promote people to go on, but that's because personal preference. I've not been using it, so I would have to learn it as well as the clients learn it. But certainly there are some good things coming from Sage, and I know you've got some news as well, so it might sway me more in comparison to what the others are doing. So, and
I think it will. I generally think if I look at my NDA book now and see what we know about everything at this point in time.
Okay.
Sage have already put their stall out there ready for you to decide if you're interested or not. And I think they've done enough to make people at least consider it, and especially for new clients going forward. So Dave talked about Sage has recently announced a new Copilot MTD agent designed to simplify the submission process for agents managing multiple clients. So imagine a world where this MTD agent can A, go through and segment your clients for you. Sounds nice. B, can start thinking about the communication needed for those clients, including chasing them and pushing them and everything else. Very, very nice. And it can carry on doing all those sort of nicety bits. Now, the big game changer for me, though, is the Copilot MTD agent will give you tools to allow those MTD submissions to be, first of all, checked by the agent. Nice. Chased from a client's agent, and it's going to be contactual chase as well. So imagine that it was missing a bank statement or something. It'll be able to check that bank statement to make sure it's okay before it goes. And then the big one, I think, is actually submit those MTD quarterly returns via the MTD agent by itself. They've also gone on to talking about how it can keep track of what's submitted and what hasn't by the agent and all that sort of stuff, give you that amazing dashboard. In theory, like none of us have played with this, so we're still going to take it with a salt. We'll have a look. But if they can deliver that service the way that it sounds there, in theory, you have an automated MTD solution there that you can start delivering to your clients. Now, that's a pretty big game changer, right? Like the idea that it can automatically go in, do your submissions, get that bit for you, give you some updates, keep you on top of it, right? Like suddenly, you can imagine a lot of practices out there going, well, I was never going to be considered of taking on new clients because that sounds like a lot of hard work for me. Could this be a way where you can actually see that there is a way where we can deliver this MTD solution quite effectively and quite efficiently, especially when we were talking about bridging and everything that we've been talking about in the last episode. Like there's opportunities, I think, for people to really start thinking about how they're going to deliver their MTD solution going forward. And I think as we stand now with the information that's publicly available, they just sitting there very pretty in a very kind of unique position of, well, what else is there on the market? Do you know what I mean? Like, so what's your thoughts on that? Suzanne, do you want to go first?
I think the bit that you said, the sort of the first part where they're going to help practices segment the client base and do the communication, that is a massive thing, because in my opinion, that's the hard part in all of this, is getting ready. I think once we're doing the actual quarterly filings, that's just, it's the chasing up of missing paperwork and stuff. That's it's getting clients into that habit of keeping things up to date or sending things to us so that we can keep things up to date in time and more regularly. That's the hard part. So that sounds fantastic. I'm less enthusiastic about it doing too much of the work, and I think there's got to be a lot of checks and balances within that. So as long as we can build those in and have that human eye looking things over, then it sounds like it will be really, really helpful. What I do like the idea of potentially for the quarterly returns is, I guess, if it gets to the deadline, can it automatically file what we've got so far? Because given that there's not going to be any penalties if things are missing or slightly inaccurate, that would really help people, in emergencies from missing deadlines and stuff like that, So that sounds like quite a good plan, especially where clients are potentially doing it themselves. At least they're getting something filed. So yeah, I think that it sounds really good. I want to sort of look into it more. I definitely would want to be able to check things myself through that process. I wouldn't be sitting back, putting my feet up and letting it do the whole lot for us. But I'm sure that isn't the intention anyway.
No, I don't think it's it, but I think this is the right place to start this experiment on, right? Like MTD for it is the right place. It's such a, I mean, end of the day, there is no penalties for incorrectly filing at this point in time anyway, right? Like, so
as long as they're as accurate as possible.
Yeah. And
I'm not suggesting people do nothing and file rubbish, but
100%. But I think this is the way you can start putting those checks and places into it. You can start thinking about how an agent can potentially do these bits for you. I mean, they do go on to say that this MTD agent isn't just for MTD. They are looking at that as well. And
well, I was going to say, why would this not be available for VAT if it's available for income tax?
Yeah, and maybe the VAT one's a bit of I can see a future of that happening, but maybe not quite right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be much more accurate, I suppose, in terms of if we're but if people are making payments based on what it's bringing up. But
but the idea of automatically submitting those MTD things, where we're all concerned about capacity, we're all worried about how that's going to work, that's the elements that are coming through. I think that there's definitely a future there where this could be really exciting for
Yeah.
thing. And again, opening up the doors to people to actually bring on new clients for MTD. Amy, what's your thoughts on it?
I've got the audit fear.
Hashtag audit Amy not happy.
The two of you talking about automatic submissions, I'm like, I don't
It
know.
is scary. Yeah.
No, I can't. I have to be the one that presses the button. Maybe it's just the control freaking me, but I still feel, for me to be comfortable, and I think we've got to think about our regulators as well. Like, do you think they're going to be happy that something's going out under our name that we've not?
This would only be, I would only be
for?
talking about automatic submissions for clients who are doing their own, not for me.
Yeah, I still wouldn't. I'd rather they be late. I
do think it leaves people open to temptation, potentially, to not do the work in the meantime.
We're going to have clients that leave it, and we're going to have clients that think they can do it themselves and just going to press a button and go. But I'd rather them have that button to press than have it automatic. But then that might just be me, personal preference. With
I know what you're saying. And having said all of that, I don't actually have any clients who are going to do it themselves anyway. So.
Oh, really?
So
my tact has changed a bit throughout this series, and I'm probably going to encourage my clients to do it more themselves. But obviously,
some are going to do the bookkeeping, but then I'm providing a quarterly checking service, and I would be the one filing the return. That's what I've got in my head, and what I've kind of been talking about with clients so far. I mean,
I think I'll go into my thought process another time. But with the Sage side of things, I like the fact that it's going to go in, look what's missing, and potentially just contact the client straight away and go. Because you think going into a bank feed and just getting saying these attachments are missing, so I don't need to do that.
Although, is it going to be then contacting them, like, for example, if you've got multiple invoices making up one payment, is it going to be clever enough to recognise that, or is it going to be chasing them for stuff where we actually have got the information, we just haven't? It hasn't been.
Potentially it's a case of we make the settings ourselves.
I
don't know, but I compare it to the QuickBooks VAT error check thing, which we use all the time as being like, we still want to have that kind of human element to the end, but going through month by month, if the agent can go and get that information that's missing, winning. I'm happy with that, but still leave us with the final check. Anyway, what they're saying, what you're saying, Aaron, is it's that step up from the others so far. So it does make me think, like, what if come April, Sage is the one that's got that, no one else has got that. It's going to save me time, and we're conscious of time because of pricing. And don't say anything you're not supposed to say, okay? Until you're allowed to say it. We don't want to be cancelled yet. So it does get me thinking. Again, I'm going to see other people using it. Suzannah, come on, have a play. Come on, let us know. And then if you're winning at it, I might have another look.
I generally think this is especially, I mean, we'll come on to the Xero conversation we had, but they're in that lane, right? And we that's what we learned from the Xero one. You're in that particular lane. If you're a firm that is Xero only, don't see why you wouldn't consider looking at this. Like for those type of clients that doesn't fit the Xero mold, right? Like this is, to me, this is a really, really compelling look at. So definitely something to keep an eye on, definitely something to look at. And I think, you played with agents as well, Amy, right? Like the fact it's an agent and not just a turn on, turn off means that it should, in theory, be something that we can mold and we can teach it and want it to be on our, like you said, Suzanne, you don't want anything being automatically submitted, so you should be able to tell it, don't automatically submit it for me, but keep telling me that it's not done or whatever,
exactly.
Whereas there may be a type of client in our world, in the Buffett's world, where we're happy for it to just file it, right? Like just get it in. Like the rental clients, maybe. Right? I don't know. I've not looked at it yet. I've not tested it, but maybe all my rental clients going forward, I'm happy for them just to be automatically submitted, because we know we've got the free monthly income or whatever it's going to be, right? Like, I just feel like this is opening up the door for something completely different. And to be fair, something I hadn't really considered as a possibility this time. Like, for me, this was a 5 years down the line, we could be thinking about this sort of stuff. And say you've gone, well, hold my beer, like, I could do it today if you want me to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just exciting, isn't it? To kind of look at it.
Moving very fast. This.
Very, very fast. And maybe that's one of the positives MTD's brought us, right? Like, it's forced us and the vendors to look at things in a different way. Next up, though, was our chat with Stu on, and make sure it was Stu was next one. Pretty sure it was.
I think Stu was next.
Free agent.
Yeah, Stu with free agent. So this was a great conversation, wasn't it? And it was just nice to have Stu there to give us kind of like that insight and everything else. But I think for me, it really doubles down to that their big strength is that connection between the bank accounts, right? Like that metal and free agent, whatever you call it, when they're both living together, sort of thing.
Kind of thing.
That link, that integration, I think is going to be so powerful. I think that's going to be a real tool I think all accountants are going to need in their back pocket for certain clients, where you know what, they need a separate bank account anyway. They can have this option. It's all going to sync lovely. It
makes that whole process of those shoebox clients, getting them ready. It's just, for me, that has been a no-brainer. It has made the whole process really, really easy, and a much easier sell. And the fact that it's free as well, where we're talking about, obviously there are going to be extra costs involved for clients, at least that element is taken care of, which means, we're not having to be, it just gives us a little bit more flexibility, I think. And it's less painful for the client.
100%. And I think that whole type of client where you've said there before, Suzannah, about them doing it themselves, one of the best solutions on the market for them, right? If all they do is just do their banking, right? And if that's all they do and they can still be compliant that way, all up for it. Amy, what's your thoughts on the free agent offering?
So I'm getting new sole traders pretty much every week, which is great. I'm not showing off. It's just a great position. But they're coming in. They are coming from other accountants, and not just new, but a lot are new to it that have been like employed in business. So when they're coming in, one of the first questions: have you got a business bank account? No, because I don't need to have one. I know you had this conversation, didn't we, Aaron, with Craig from HMRC? If only they said you had to have a business bank account. So I'm like, right, okay, let's get one. You've got your sterling, you've got your Tide, you've got your Monzo, you've got your metal. And with your metal, you get free accounting software with it. It's an easy conversation. They're MTD compliant for when they fall in, because they probably won't fall in April if they're just starting out. They'll this April to 26, but they will do obviously in 27 or 28. You're setting yourself up. I've had clients in here doing the metal thing. So you've got your driving license, let's do it together. It's such an easy process. And because they're able to they don't have to have the free agent app on their phone. They can do everything through the metal app. They're invoicing. It's really simple. I've not tried subcontractors yet though, so I'll come to that. It's just the way forward. I'm just saying it to everyone now, because it's just easy and free, and we have to set up the free license. So we've got access. Then we explain how they link their bank, do their transactions themselves, and categorizing.
There's loads of good onboarding material you can send them as well.
I just feel it's just easy, it's compliant, it's there. And the
mobile app is great for them for taking their receipts and stuff. It just makes it really, it's really nice. I've got clients who are so kind of untechnical, and I've sat down with them and we've just got it set up and they're loving it. it's working really, really easily for them. And it's actually, a lot of them are coming back to me and saying, this is saving me so much time because I'm not having to write everything down and tick it off in my invoice book. I'm not having to remember to print off those Amazon invoices and file them, and then I've lost them because I can't remember where I put them, or the receipt for the fuel has flown out the window of the car, or whatever. They're finding it so much easier.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's a solution that we have been able to sort of provide to them. That is part of the value. That's part of the value we're providing.
And it's really good for us as accountants to get that opportunity to flex our muscles and advise something like this, right? Like that, it creates such a better relationship with our clients when we can give them a solution that's because a lot of these clients, I'm sure you found, Amy, and they're people who didn't want to use software. They were so adverse against it. It's like, why am I having to have another app on my phone? Why have I got to do this? It was all negative around it. But actually, when we can make it really easy and really slick and just let them carry on doing their business as they have been doing, be digital compliant, everyone wins, right?
I mean, my manual clients, I would say, it's, and I'm not being sexist here, it's mainly the guys that are on the building site. It's just, for me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When I've been getting them to get the Metal app, and I'm like, right, see this here? Invoices. That's where you do sales invoices. See this?
So you're getting them to do it actually in Metal. I've not done that actually. Mine are doing it in Free Agent.
Look it up. Look it up, because
then
then
easier
then they've
than
got
doing it in Free Agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look it up, because just having that one app, because you need it for your banking anyway, make your payments, you've got your pots, you've got the rules that you can set up to put your taxes aside, from your income. So you've got that, you've got your tab for your invoices. It alerts you where you have spent some money and you haven't attached a receipt. There's a list.
Yes, I've got some who've done the expenses part in Metal.
Yeah,
and then that pulls through really nicely to Free Agent. Yeah, I've not tried the sales invoices. It's difficult because we can't see it. That's the only thing. Unless we've got a Metal account and a Free Agent license for our practice ourselves, it's quite hard to see what the client is seeing.
I mean, thankfully, I use Metal for our business account. Have you got Metal too? Because I was an NatWest business customer, and then they're free for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I do have clients where, I think I have a couple of clients where they've had a NatWest business, or they've had a Metal, and you can't get another Metal. And the only downside at the Metal is only like one person, which would work for
them, apparently,
because I've just trader. Yeah. So I just find that that's just making the sell. I don't know, we shouldn't have to sell, it's happening, but we are having to sell MTD to some clients, and to say, actually, it's not that hard. It's one app. You can do everything through here. And look, you haven't got to go into Word and do your invoices, or do it from notes in your iPhone. Because I don't know about you, people have been doing invoices as notes in their iPhone.
And there's WhatsApp, right?
Just WhatsApp.
Yeah.
To just be able to go, right, just add a customer, add in your product. You haven't got to pick a product. You can type it in yourself. It's a simplistic way of doing it and of being compliant. And yes, we've got all the other softwares that we're talking about, but that bank to software link, I don't think the others can beat it. It's hard to beat it.
Isn't that the interesting thing? That's we've gone through 2 different ones, and each of them have now got such a compelling offer. They're different as well, right? Like, they've gone about it completely different way. One's got this amazing agent and freemium model and all that sort of stuff, where Free Agent have got this such a tight integration with the bank that just makes sense. And I highly recommend grab a Metal account, or every accountant should get one, and just have a play with it. You'll be really, really impressed with it. Definitely. Moving swiftly on, we went to QuickBooks, and we talked about how they're offering. And to summarize, what I believe the QuickBooks offering is they built a whole new product for this called QuickBooks Sole Trader, and QuickBooks Sole Trader has definitely got some bells and whistles on there that no one else has been able to do as well. So they've got their own way of it, and it's all about this automation. And I did a video actually that went live. In fact, it went live yesterday. And what I did was I took ChatGPT and I threw a bank statement into it, all protected because I was using the Teams one, and I threw the same bank statement in QuickBooks, and we just compared, right? Like if there was a hands-off, we didn't want to do anything from an accountant's or bookkeeper perspective, but we wanted to keep them compliant for making tax digital. What options have we got? And yes, ChatGPT was impressively able to build us like this thing, but that's as far as it could go, right? Basically, churn out a P&L account. Whereas QuickBooks, we were able to put it in there and it automated it going forward. Now, was it absolutely spot on in both cases? Not at all. Like there were still bits that we add value to and we were able to bring it in. But the fact that we have that as a fallback of, right, let's just get the data in there. Let's automate it. Let's get it from it. And then we can bring our expertise in. And then that final submission, as you were saying there, Suzannah, we can make sure the top ticks and everything are done. Yeah. Really, really, really impressive. Now, I did get told off from my talk about QuickBooks, and it was down to this NDA book, right? Like,
okay.
I'm still not 100% sure what I'm supposed to talk about and what I'm not. But one thing I did miss, and I got pulled up on this, was they have created a whole solution when you have multiple rental properties and all that. This big pain point we've got of well, how are we going to deal with this? I know Free Agent said that they had a quite a nice solution, but the QuickBooks solution is, yes, you'll still have to have multiple licenses, but there will be an overarching solution that will be able to bring that data in, automate that for you, and you are going to be able to post it directly from there. So it looks good as well. I've had to play with it. It looks good. And it is
that's
live.
Good. Yeah, that's interesting.
So you're going to have two separate licenses for like a husband and wife, just for an example.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a feed coming in that can do the splits.
Yeah, so you'd pick which license you're going to do to hold it, but then you're going to be able to say,
fine, send it to the other one. So yeah.
You don't have
so kind of similar to.
You're not going to have to do those. Yeah, you're not going to have to do the books twice, effectively, for different partners.
And then you can basically feed it.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, I think a lot of people are still going to be, frustrated the right word, but there's still going to be, there's going to definitely be questions about, well, why do we have to have two licenses? I think that's always going to be a debate to keep on going. And they're all going to have good deals on for us. There's going to be options for us to be able to mitigate against that. But I think ultimately we're never going to get away from having to have two separate licenses, because other than Free Agent seems to be the only one that's nailed this. You can only put the one credentials in each license, right? And then that's the one that kind of feeds it through. So,
and I think
what they're working again.
If that's so, I've got some landlords who've got like multiple properties, and some of them are joint, but not all. And so where they've got joint ones, both landlords have both got other properties. So I don't know. I think for those at the moment, there is no solution other than just to have two completely separate.
Well, Free Agent, you can still have. They've
got too many properties for Free Agent, because Free Agent means you only go up to 5.
And I think this is where the QuickBooks overarching solution is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be for one like that, where you'd have one file that's going to have all of these properties out, and you can have them in different locations, and you can define where the split's going to be. But then you'd have, however many submissions needed, you're going to need the extra amount of them there. This overarching one will just grab the data from one and then populate it in the other.
And it would just grab it from that joint property and not the other ones. Okay.
Yeah, and then you define, actually this property is between these two, and maybe there's a third partner in this one. And that's what it's designed to do, is to get that complication, and you basically figure it out at the top, and you're defining it from there, and then it's just grab that data and then pre-populate.
That would be really good. I'll have to have a look into that.
Yeah, and I think that's where they're going with it, right? They've got this automation, this sole trader solution built directly from the ground up, and then for the more complicated one, they've built this kind of nice little bit to go from there. And again, it's a different approach, right? There's other stuff I can't talk about because in my little NDA book, so we'll catch up on it when I can. But that's the beauty of this, right? Because what we want from all of this, I think, as accountants, bookkeepers, everyone to get each one of these new features into their product, right? Over time, that's the name of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, what's your guys' opinion on the QuickBooks side of things then?
I mean, I'm a QuickBooks fan. My bookkeepers all know QuickBooks. My clients all know QuickBooks. I would love for all of my clients to be in the QuickBooks eco space because it helps me with training, updates, one place to go to, all visually there. I like that they've got this solution for the multi-properties, and I think it's going to work well. Obviously, we've been through in QuickBooks Labs the detail of it, and I do like it. My thing is CIS. And it's gonna go into QuickBooks Labs, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because Suzannah will be like, oh, I'm so bored. I've been holding out because we're still in this world where I've got a lot of people that just want to use their mobile to do all of this kind of stuff. I'm kind of pushing my clients to do their own bookkeeping. Don't have the staff that's going to be able to do it, and I think it's good for them to do it themselves. I will still check it and do the submissions if they want me to. I need the ability for them. And again, it's my client base, so it's not going to be for everyone. It won't affect everyone, but for my client base, the CIS base, I'm waiting still. But I've been having conversations for months now. I've had to put them somewhere else until that gets sorted. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, it's the ability to do CIS invoices on the mobile phone app.
Yeah, and it's tricky, right? Because you can't sell to your client a dream. You can't tell them, oh, well, it's coming at some point like that. We can't do that. We need to have this working today for us to be able to deliver that service to them. Yeah. And it is a killer's here. And the biggest problem you have is that, well, it's an American company at the end of the day, right? Like,
I know the reason.
To put it in, but there's no guarantee. Whereas Free Agent, well, it's a UK company. Of course, they're going to look at UK taxes. Of course, they're going to provide it from day one. That is tricky. And I can't remember. Can Xero do CIS within the document product? I can't remember if that's the case.
I don't know that. I don't know. I think so. I'm kind of in this two-prong approach. I've got clients that aren't CIS that are likely to grow that I want to have in the QuickBooks ecosystem. There's good deals to get them. So to get a QuickBooks license. So they're going down that route. And particularly if they don't have a Metal account on that West account, they've already got a business bank account. I'm not putting them in, I'm not promoting the Free Agent space unless they've got a Metal or NatWest account, because that's where they can use it to its potential. If they've got a Starling, Monzo, Tide, any other banks, loads of banks available, I'm probably going down the QuickBooks route. But the CIS ones, I am still sitting on some because I'm not quite sure where to push them. Most of them haven't got business bank accounts anyway, so then I'm not missing out. We have still got a bit of time, so I am hoping that the mobile app can be sorted CIS, and then it'll be a lot easier decision for me to put my clients in there. But I have at the moment, I have a 50-50 split in the ones that have software between Free Agent and QuickBooks.
Yeah, I completely see that. Suzanne, what's your thoughts on the QuickBooks offering?
I've only got limited companies on QuickBooks at the moment. I haven't actually got any sole traders or landlords. So if I'm honest, because I'm using the other three, I'm not probably going to look at QuickBooks at the moment as an option, just purely because I've already got three options that I'm sort of using for sole traders and landlords, and that are working for me. Having said that, I wouldn't be turning anyone away or trying to migrate them if they came to me already on QuickBooks and it was working for them. So it sounds like they've got, from what you guys have said, it sounds like it's all there and ready. And I do like what you were saying about that joint landlord kind of overarching option. That sounds really good.
Cool. Okay,
what about yours, Aaron? What about your client base?
I'll give you my summary at the end. I think we'll come back.
Okay.
Intrigue. Because we've still got Xero, right? And final one as well. So Xero, we had James come along to give us it, or if you remember, we were in different location. It was the
Brewdog, weren't you?
We were in the Brewdog. It was a strange one where you guys weren't in the room with us and there was people in the room with us, but I think we still made it work. what did they bring to the table? They brought a MTD offering on their current solution. They brought a brand new SKU designed maybe as an intro to Zero to MTD, but we didn't quite feel like it. Probably the wrong person to big this one up, because I still don't know what they're bringing to the table. Like, we've just gone through really positive, like, this is what Sage is doing, this is what Free Agent doing, this is what
I know.
doing. We're going to talk about what TaxCalc are doing in a minute, right? Like, this positivity on all them. Zero's basically giving us a solution for your existing client base, which is great. That means we're not going to lose out on those, but I don't think they've really brought anything new to the table. But Suzanne, you've got more Zero clients than anyone else. So how are you feeling? And I think you've got news about the MTD offering as well, or the
yes.
the
So I've
pilot?
now finally this week been accepted for the beta on Zero. So I haven't actually done anything about it yet because I was away for a few days and I'm still catching up with backlog of work. Yeah. So I'm on that now. So I will be looking at that hopefully later this week, and looking forward to testing the quarterly returns on that. So yeah, that will give me a lot more insight. But I think it will be fine. But like you say, that there's nothing kind of brand new that nothing exciting particularly that I've heard anyway. But maybe they're.
What I took away from that episode, because I don't use Zero that much. I do have clients on Zero. I am learning more and more about it all the time. And I haven't heard the screaming and shouting about MTD too much. And Johan let us into basically, and again, I don't know if he was talking on the behalf, that they're not really promoting that because that's not their client base.
No, they're more bigger.
That's kind of what I took away from it. So it's great that they've got a solution. They're not going to be singing and dancing about it. They want to, obviously, they don't want to lose clients. So they're not saying go away. We've got this, but it's not. That's not their market. It's just like us. We wouldn't go for industries that are not in our, what we enjoy doing. So it's probably the same thing. So it's like, I get why if you're an existing Zero customer, it's got a solution. Exactly. It will work because they will end up working because they have to. It will work and it will do, and it won't, it might have their jacks. Is that right?
Yeah.
I sound so naive to it. I'm sorry, people. But it's just going to do the job. So exactly what I was saying in QuickBooks, people with Zero would want it in the same eco-space. They don't necessarily have to learn something else, especially if they've got a big firm with a small number of sole traders. So it'll do the job. It's not doing anything for non-Zero users to say, yes, I'm going to look at it. Yeah, like for me, like Sage is doing for me, like, oh, shall I go and see what's going on? Zero is not doing that for me. That's cool. If they're not as bothered about it, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I sit with them. It's they've got a solution. But it would have been nicer if they are just aiming for that higher client to really start thinking about those pain points. Like for you, Suzannah, this whole issue about these multiple properties and everything, that seems to be the area that they could actually really help you on, right? Because they've already got the infrastructure in the background. They, you can put things into locations and all that sort of stuff, right? Like, for a more complicated client, you tend to think that someone like Zero is a better fit for them. They
I know.
To entice you over, right?
No, I agree. I mean, but we'll see what happens. I'm waiting with bated breath.
I mean, the annoying thing I know is going to happen, and like if I could predict, and I was, simple at that moment, is a lot of the Zero fanboys and girls will just use Zero. They won't look at anything else, right? And there's so much cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
And they'll just accept.
And Zero are really good. A lot of they're good with the integrations and stuff as well. There's a lot, and that can, depending on the client, there might be that reason why you would pick Zero particularly. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the solution will be fine. I will still say that my go-to for getting people onto software would be free agent, just because it just fits that that's what they've made. Almost they've targeted those people almost as their core kind of client base, whereas like you say, Xero, they're not the core client base that they're looking for. They've just developed a solution for those people who've heard the name Xero, or maybe who have used Xero in the past, for other things, and they want that as their solution.
Definitely, 100%. Finally, then Nick Moss came in and talked to us all about the world of tax calc, and a bit of a Hail Mary right at the end. It's like, right, okay, we've shown you all these fancy software solutions. Let's think about something a little bit different here. And this was about bridging and how tax calc can come along and actually be a bridging solution for you, and definitely open the eyes. I mean, I need to shout out Andy Wainwright, who comes on onto LinkedIn, says Storm Amy must have increased social media usage this weekend. Rather than wasting your time and scrolling and recommend watching this webinar, it certainly taught me that tax calc can do for MTD solution. So Michelle opened his eyes to actually this bridging idea could be something really, really clever. Like the idea that, and I still don't, for me, like this is where me and Johan will always kind of disagree on. I think he's still got this idea that he's going to go in and quarterly submissions are going to be done by MTD, by tax calc. I still don't feel like that's going to work for me. I think the software the client's using, that's where their MTD solution is, and submissions are going to be from a quarterly basis. This idea at the end where you just consolidate your whole client base and it's all going through tax calc. Yes, please. I'm well up for that. And then
I'm really
giving the
interested
options for
in
bridging
that
as well. Yeah, I think that was a real eye opener. Suzanne, you go first. What was your overriding thoughts about the tax calc solution?
Just that I need to have a look at this, because I think where I'm using at the moment Sage, Xero, and Free Agent for the for my MTD clients, and just the thought that having to file that MTD tax return and learn that process in 3 different softwares, is that a great use of my time? Or I could just integrate them with tax calc, and then it's just those bits go through tax calc. I agree with you. I think I'll still look to do the quarterly returns through the bookkeeping software. And Nick said himself that that works really well. But also it is another, like you said, another option for those clients who are completely software resistant. And if they've got a spreadsheet that works really well and they're keeping it up to date, then it is an option. My thing as a bookkeeper would be, I like to have checked all the paperwork, and having those receipts and invoices attached to the transaction makes that really, really easy to do. I don't really want to have to go back to the days of going through a big folder and ticking things off on a spreadsheet. But it's good that there's an option there.
Definitely. And then it's not just hashtag audit Amy, it's hashtag tax calc fangirl. What's your thoughts on that, Amy?
Is this a new one I've got? Tax calc fangirl. Oh dear. I haven't got enough money to get that in the sign. I am a tax calc fangirl, but not just for this, because I use it for my year-end accounts, my tax returns, my company secretarial. I've got a few this year doing MTD for VAT, bridging through that. When this came out early July is when I first heard of it, and it kind of made me go, because I've already got tax calc for the other things. I'm going to be doing the year-end tax returns through it anyway. It's going to have the fetch function to go to HMRC and get the submissions, even if I don't submit it through. So winning on that front, even if I don't submit it through tax calc, that's what I meant to say. I'm still battling with people, as I keep saying on this every week, to get bank accounts. Yes, ideal world, bookkeeping software, bank feed in, we've got the transactions, we're ready for year end. Yes, they might put the receipts in, some don't, Suzannah. I know it's great to have it, but
don't allow it. I'm strict.
just I will get them to say that you've kept them. Okay, I don't want them in the office. But for those that don't, I'm not going to have the panic of July 2026 where I'm going to get things physically dropped off and I'm going to have to do a whole 3 months.
Yeah.
I can keep this spreadsheet running. I can keep on people a month. If they want nothing to do with software, and there are going to be some that don't, or even if they say they do, they won't link their bank account. I'll give them the license, they'll do it. So we've got this as a just in case. I think before TaxCalc brought this out, we obviously knew HMRC weren't going to give us a solution, and it was kind of like all in or nothing. You're not breaching. You weren't complying. Whereas this is exactly the bridging bit in between. So it's definitely calmed me down. I am less pushy on my clients at the moment, giving them a bit of a break. I have had calls with those that are going to be in and come on, let's sort something out. So definitely a lot calmer. The actual quarterly submissions, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do it in the software or in TaxCalc. I don't know. I want to try it. Yeah, both ways. Because
can you do it through one and then go back if you don't like it? I wonder if you can chop and change.
They have
I'm
to
sure
have an
you
option
can,
to
can't you?
change. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Clients are going to move between in the year anyway, right? Like, so we've got to have that ability to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, I could try both. Do everyone on TaxCalc 1 quarter and then do it. I'd like to try that before before it actually goes
maybe
live.
while we're still in the beta.
Yeah, because I'm a TaxCalc user anyway, and I am trialing it. I've got the spreadsheet format. The people that want nothing to do with it, I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm going to say, this is the other solution. Yes, it would mean that you would have to, I don't know how they would get all their information to me, hopefully not drop it off. We'd have to come up with some form of plan.
This is the danger though, isn't it?
Are
we moving forward with it properly? Are we properly digitizing them? Or does it give us a fallback? Does it give us
it's a fallback, and it's, I think there's, I feel like, and this is just talking about things being digital anyway. Talking to people, there's more and more and more resistance, like them digging their heels in, being like, and I think it might be the digital ID cards that are being spoken about. And there's a big thing about it, isn't it? I don't watch the news anymore. It's getting on my nerves. But there's more resistance for those that don't want to do it. There's more resistance for any digital whatsoever. So we're kind of in this. I don't want to leave people on their own when they don't want to do it. So this is a solution for that. It's not something that I want. I would prefer that everything was digital, so my remote workers can log in, and I've got more people that are able to help it rather than people just in the office.
Are you going to offer it as an option, or are you going to try and push them to software and wait until they've dug their heels in and it's the last minute, and then
I think I'll probably do the last minute. I started this process in January 25. January 20. We're October now, and that was my 23-24 list of clients. Look at 24-25. So I had 10 on there. 2 out of the 10 have still not got software.
Wow.
Or business bank accounts. So it's just, and I know I'm dealing with a lot smaller clients. So 20% of those that had 23-24 over 50,000. My ones from 24-25 figures that I've got, and again, my list is from TaxCalc. Because all of my submissions are through there. We're looking at, I think there's a 4 out of 10, around about 40% that still have not. And life takes over. You've got your accountant going, come on, let's get a bank account, let's get on software. They're going to try and leave it to the last minute. So emails do go out, chases do go out. I do get
it's the danger with leaving it to the last minute like that, though, is not just the getting them on the software, it's the getting them into the habit of getting information to you regularly. That's
and I just feel it does. concern me a bit. But at the end of the day, I've given them enough warning about it. They've had multiple, most of them haven't got letters from HMRC, but they've had multiple emails from me going through this year talking about it and giving them the option of free agent and metal, or to ring me to talk through it. So I don't want to be a stuck record going over and over and over again. Like, they are still responsible for it. They are still
given them that information.
Exactly. So there will be a few that when we get to April, they're still not there, and it will be the first week of April. Cool, what you doing? Okay, you want us in? Right, cool. Go and get your bank account now. Okay, you've got to come here right now. That kind of conversation will be there. But and that's not me leaving it to the last minute. It's giving people the opportunity to make their own decision, and me not going, unless you make a decision now. I'm not saying you're doing this, but unless you make the decision now on what you're doing, you're out. And I respect people for doing that. It's just not me. I try and help. And I think a lot of people are like me out there that are thinking they're going to have a lot of clients that are still not buying into this. The ones that they're talking to that are still not taking action on it. And the bridging software for me is cool. You haven't done it. We can still do it. If you absolutely flat right do not want to do it, this is what we can do.
Will you then charge them more? I mean, this is going to be a pricing thing, but if they're not doing it your way, that gives you leverage to say, well, this is the way that would make it a lot easier for me and for you. If you're dead set that you're not going to do it this way, we can do it this way. It's going to cost you more because it's going to be more time consuming for me.
And I know we'll go into pricing next week, but let's just say in January I had a pricing structure that's completely gone out the window now, and it's a case of, like many accountants, I probably don't charge the right fee for tax returns as it is. I'll probably undercut myself as it is, let alone having to do these quarterly submissions, let alone the bookkeeping, which I try and do on volume. And it's hard. It's going to be hard to predict the volume and at the start of it, because they haven't got business bank accounts. It's all going through the personal stuff. Do I do it from bank statements, or do I say you have to give me invoices and receipts? So I do have all these questions in my head. I don't have the answer to how I'm going to price it, and I know we'll go into it, and we'll probably come up. Hopefully, I'm hoping together we'll come up with a plan.
We'll come up with a solution between us.
And then the software won't change too much, because this is what's happened. The software's changed a bit, and I'm like, oh, maybe I was a little bit too early. Now, that's not to say accountants and bookkeepers out there that are listening, please don't sit on it till last minute. Just have a kind of rough plan, and we can put in the pricing a bit later.
Okay, so speaking of rough plan, you can put it on the spot here for both of you. No. What is your strategy? And I'll go through mine as well, but what's your strategy on everything we've talked about? How is your strategy now going to be with software going forward? Suzannah, you go first.
I'm saying that they have to be on software, and they have to have a business bank account. I'm not holding anyone to ransom and saying I won't work with you if you don't, but I'm just telling them they have to. And mine seem to be accepting that. Yeah. And like I've said before, I think if they're on software already, if they come to me and they're already on software and they're using it and it's working well, I'm not forcing anyone to move. I'm quite software agnostic anyway. If they are if they're new to software altogether, I am going with free agent, just because I think it makes it. I like the software. I like that clients are finding it really easy, and that whole free business bank account and then the free software makes it so much easier to then get that part of it done, and then you can start having the discussion about monthly or quarterly bookkeeping or the checking service, and then you've got that part of it in place, and then when it comes to doing the returns, hopefully most of it is already in place, and then you just have a fee for the returns. But I'm finding it a bit easier doing it that way and staggering those stages, but then I've started early. So that only works if you've already started at this stage. And for clients that are coming to me now, I'm having to sort of do a much more sped up version of what I've been doing. But yeah, that's how I'm doing it.
That's good. And I suppose this has been beneficial for you to kind of feel that there's softwares out there to help you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Amy, what's your strategy now?
So historically, everyone's had an email to say, get a bank account. If you don't have a bank account, there is this metal free agent option. If you do, talk to me about software. And then the options are going to be do it all yourself, or do your bookkeeping and I will do the quarterlies, or I have nothing to do with it and I just open at year end.
Yeah.
So they're the three options, and that's what I've stuck with. The ones that are left now, or they're going to come in again if they're new, the free agent metal, or if they've already got a bank account, I'm going with the QuickBooks option because that's what I'm comfortable with and my team are comfortable with. Yep. The pricing is the next thing for me, and actually coming up with a plan of who is going to do those quarterly reviews, because I won't have the time to do it. So I need to look at the team and go, do I get the bookkeepers to do the reviews, or do I get my tax manager to do the reviews? So for me, it's the pricing, and then figuring out who's going to do what based on what my clients choose. Interesting.
It's good to see that you've got that kind of nailed down there of what yours is going to be. I think for me, it's definitely going to be QuickBooks will be my main port of call. It makes sense. A lot of my clients come from QuickBooks anyway, and we work with them and we'll go from there. I'm really excited about the fact that with QuickBooks Sole Trader, there's going to be an automation there that we can lean into and help us forward. But free agent is going to be in the back pocket for us as especially like accidental landlords, things like that. Maybe it's a director who we've been doing the tax return forever and they've just got this little bit of rental income, and they're going to get hit or something like that. It makes sense probably at that point to bring in a metal and a free agent for someone like that. But I am not going to ignore what Sage has brought in. They've definitely turned my head as there might be a whole new type of client out there where that Sage MTD offering is absolutely perfect for them with that agent. And I'm really excited to explore that, to have a play around with it, have a look at it. I think what they're doing, what they're saying, I am definitely interested on that one. But what about you guys out there? Let us know. Use the comment section that we have, or use that link tree. Let us know what your strategy is. Have we changed anyone? Have we got anyone? Like Andy Wainwright's already said that this bidding option is definitely a change for him, and definitely made him think about it for his practice. Let us know your success stories, because as much as we're going to do pricing next week, and we are, because we've been teasing it for so long, there will be a Q&A session coming out soon as well. We've got loads coming through. We've got loads in our little thing. So, but let us know. Bring your comments in. Bring them in from there and we can go. Mahu's speaking of comments, said clap when we finally Suzannah gave the announcement that she's got a chance to do the MTD betas. That's great to see. That's the Bookkeeper Pit Stop podcast link ? Oh, now that is a tease there, Mahu. That is a tease. We've not officially announced that yet. So listen on the main show on Monday and you'll be first to know it from there. Anything from anyone else? So I want to finish up. We've gone over time actually. So any more you want to talk about from the software showdown? Any final remarks on either of you? Suzannah, Amy, go for it.
I think we just need to keep an eye out. I think everything is changing all the time, and not all the solutions have, if Xero come out and they've got this massive thing, please come and tell us, because we want to showcase it to everyone. I know, but you never know. You never know who's listening. So I think actually, if any of the software providers do come out with something, get in touch with us, because we are all still open. Even us here and all our listeners are still open to what's out there. We've got until April. Yeah. Let's get on it.
And we've not talked about management solutions, we still don't really have a solution to look at the whole client base, right? Other than what Nick was saying about TaxCalc, have that solution that we can look at as well. But all that there. Suzannah, what's your final remarks?
Just echoing what Amy said, keeping an open mind on it all. I know what I've got as my preferences at the moment, and to be honest with you, if I'm not going to be changing anyone if they're already on software, because we're going to have enough to do. But it's really, really what I've loved about doing this is you're just learning so much information from as to what's out there, and finding out all these new developments all the time. And yeah, definitely keeping an open mind. And yeah, so for example, if I had a new client come to me, shoebox client, not on software, but they already did have a business bank account and it wasn't Metal or NatWest, I think now I'd be looking at Sage potentially for that. Although again, it does depend on the client. So
yeah, that's true.
And if the rumours are true, we're going to be inundated with new clients, right? And inundated with new requests. So we need this information there. Hashtag Nick Hail Mary Moss has said, I'll go with that one. So yeah,
brilliant.
His new hashtag. That's good to see. And Mo says, thank you very much. All great conversation as always. So thank you. But yeah, that will leave us there, and we'll be there. We'll be back same time, same place for a nice.
Not the same time next week.
Oh yeah, good point. Actually, yeah, we're an hour behind, aren't we? So yeah, we're back to the original time. Hopefully, I think next time.
12:30.
Well, let me know because I got it wrong. So do let me know.
Will let us know. Like, yeah, she's the real boss. She tells us when we go live. Speaking of going live, anything you like to plug or overview? Suzannah, do you want to go first?
Oh, I should have thought about this before. What can I plug? Free Agent have got their road shows on at the moment, and I know that I'm going to the Chelmsford one on Tuesday. I know they've got them in various locations, and I think they will be clearly talking a lot about MTD. So there you go. That's my little plug.
Great plug. And there's definitely roadshow season, isn't it? There's some lots of roadshows out there. One missing, but we can talk about that in our next podcast coming up. Speaking of which, Amy, what would you like to plug?
4:30 today, right? Quick Bits Labs.
If that's what producer Lizzie says, that's when we turn up.
Apologies for the day late. 4:30 today, Quick Bits Labs. I've got a Being Counted a Boss episode with Kev from Firm Check. That's a good one. And we're talking a little bit about the company's house verification, and everyone will find out that I'm not charging enough for that. What else is going on? I don't know. There's still lots of events at the end of this year. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. So keep an eye on LinkedIn. I will announce where I'm going to be. What about you, Aaron?
Maybe we need an MTD, a watch series for roadshows, just so we can keep everyone up to date of what's going on.
The calendar. We need an extensive calendar. Ask the accountant calendar so we know where we're going to be, because I have to keep asking everyone about dates. Checking the calendar. Yeah.
That's definitely something we need. Right, everyone. Quick plug for me is come back to us for our QuickBooks Labs podcast later on today. Look forward to next week. I think next week is the episode that a lot of people are excited for, so I'm excited for it as well. And we'll see you this time next week for another an hour before for an exciting episode. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.